Time.
Yeah, what's up, party people? Welcome back. I should say that to myself. I'm back. It's been a minute. I missed you all. I just got back from Bora Bora on the most amazing honeymoon adventure I could ever imagine. It was really great. I'm a little sunburnt. My back's peeling off. My thighs are peeling off. I thought that I was wise enough to use enough sunscreen. Apparently not, but you live and you learn. And I survived. So we're back. We're back. And let me see. I see some people are already showing up. Awesome. We got Deborah's here, Patricia, Teresa, Jen, Norma, Ruth, Dee. Awesome. Well, welcome back to you all too. Cool. All right. Well, we're gonna pick it right up. I'm glad you liked the theme song, Jen. Yeah, that was actually a friend of mine helped me make that with one of those like AI music generators, and well, A little iffy about the AI stuff. I think it's a fun song, so I'm not mad at it. Constance, what's up? Hello, hello. Folks, if you're new, let me know in the chat so I can catch you up on what we do here, how it all works, and guide you through an amazing guided journaling session. Speaking of which, let me get that up on the screen here. Second. There we go. Make myself a little bigger to satisfy my own ego. Okay, let's try to get that. Just trying to make sure everyone can see everything. Let me know if anyone can't see or hear me, but oh goodness. Okay, one second. I think we can make this a little bigger. We can make it wider, apparently. All right, folks. Well, it's going to have to be good enough for rock and roll because, well, I did a little bit of drinking last week, and so I'm rubbing a few brain cells together from the honeymoon. But all right, so we've got Constance is new. Awesome. Nahal, thanks for welcoming us back. Jen says, I play bass and sing, and my uncle has 40 years of experience if you need a new one. Well, if you're down to jam, that's awesome. I play bass too. All right. So for those who are new, welcome, welcome. I'm really glad you found us. This is Journal Party, and specifically, this is Journal Party Live. And what we do on here is we debut some of our newest guided journaling programs, and that's what you're seeing on your screen here. This is our guided journaling platform. And what we do is we create what we call power prompt playlists. And so it's just our unique way of presenting journal prompts with gentle timers. And if you have the app, you can use player controls to kind of pause and skip around and go at your own pace. But for this, I'll be leading the session, so you don't actually need the app. If you do want the app, though, let me put up the little QR code there. You can scan that and download it, or you can just go to the Apple App Store or Google Play and download it. You can always access it on a web browser as well by visiting app.journalparty.com. And on there we have, over 100 guided journaling programs at this point. It's we've been churning these things out. And like I said, this is typically where we debut our newest programs. And I will, the way it's going to work is I will read the prompts, and I will then just kind of disappear in the background and journal as well. And then at the end, we all hang out and share our insights and whatnot. And so, that said, don't freak out about, I'm not going to check your work. You don't have to show us exactly what you wrote. This is very casual, and really, I think, you can lean in as much as you want, and, if it gets uncomfortable, you can lean out. Although I don't think tonight's program is going to be very uncomfortable because it's all about gratitude, and specifically uncommon gratitude. So, it's really easy to think about, there's 3 things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for, a roof over my head, or, whatever. Like, we all, and I shouldn't say whatever. We should definitely be grateful for those things, right? But this one's a little bit more about reframing. And so we're going to be looking for gratitude in some unexpected places this evening. And I think you're going to really like it. We've got 10 prompts for you. We're going to do 3 minutes per prompt. And then, like I said, at the end, we're going to hang out and share our insights. So let me just check the chat, make sure nobody's got any problems. Jen's down for the for the theme song. Donna, welcome. Katie's here. Awesome. Hello. Deidre's here. Darlene's here. Good. All right, folks, y'all ready? I'm ready. I'm ready for some self-reflection. Mary, what's up? Good to see you. All right. I'm going to hit the start now button. It's going to count us down. I will read the prompts, and then we'll all hang out. Sound good? Good. Cool. Here comes prompt number 1. Hidden silver linings. Think of a challenge or setback that taught you something valuable. What lesson are you grateful for? Just start writing. All right, next prompt, gratitude for what wasn't. Reflect on a time when things could have gone wrong but didn't. How does that shift your perspective? Next prompt, odd little joys. What's something strange or seemingly trivial that makes you happy? Why does it matter to you? Oh man, I just wrote about gummy vitamins. That was weird. Lessons from loss. Reflect on something or someone you've lost. How has this loss shaped who you are today? Gratitude for the unknown. How has uncertainty or not knowing what's next opened up surprising opportunities? Next prompt, thankful for change. Think about a big change in your life. What positive things came from it, even if it was hard at first? Grateful for absence. What's something you no longer have in your life that you're actually thankful is gone? Quiet moments. Recall a quiet or still moment that brought you peace. Why was it meaningful? Backhanded gratitude. Has someone's criticism or tough love ever helped you grow? How did it change you? Overlooked comforts. What's a comfort you experience every day that you often take for granted? How would life feel without it? All right. That is it. Wow, I thought we had one left in the tank. I guess not. All right. Let me know how you all did. I had fun with that one. It was a nice and easy way to come back. Sometimes we do the headier sessions, and this one was we had a couple about the loss and stuff like that. But I think they were all focused on pivoting into gratitude, which was really really nice to do. So for those of you who are new, typically this is the part in our journey where we take a look at what we've written and share with the tribe anything that came up for you, or anything you want to talk about in terms of insights, or anything that you need support with, or anything that you want to just share it into anything. This is your time as much as it is mine. So that said, I know it takes a moment to type these things in, and actually I want to get in the habit of allowing folks to hop on and chat with us. So I'm going to share the link in the chat if anybody wants to hop on video, but also feel free to just type in the chat. And like I said, I'll get us started. So I had a couple of interesting things. So the second prompt, gratitude for what wasn't. So this is pretty ridiculous, but so back when I first started dating my wife, we must have been, maybe a month in. I don't know. I guess I was really into this app that had just come out that would allow you to like prank dial people, and they had all these like pre-recorded things, and it would listen for the person. Like I used to get all my friends all the time, and I thought it was hilarious. They thought it was hilarious. So I thought girl Alex, now wife Alex, would think that this was hilarious if I played a little prank on her. And so I did this one, and I don't know if I have the audio because it records it. That would be funny to dig up. Maybe not so funny, but anyway. The prank was it was like someone would call and pretend that that they had ordered like 100 pizzas and that they were outside and and that they needed to come out and pay for them. And the idea would be that the person would go, no, you have the wrong number, and the person the recording would argue back and be like, no, you ordered these pizzas, you got to do it. I have hilarious recordings of people that thought it was hilarious. Again, wife Alex did not think it was very hilarious, and she nearly dumped me. So I am very grateful that she did not dump me, and now I'm married to her. But man, close call. Like, talk about sliding door moments. Like, imagine if like the love of my life didn't marry me because I decided that I wanted to prank call her. So yeah, needless to say, I deleted that app and have not been pranking anybody since. It didn't occur to me that a woman who was living alone, might be very frightened by someone who was aggressively saying that they needed to come outside and pay for something. So, in hindsight, yeah, I'm an idiot. But man, that was a close call. I see a comment here, Jen. I'm glad that felt good. Sorry, I forgot to address the chat. Yeah, and then I mentioned this earlier that the third prompt was a silly one for me too. Odd little joys, right? Like what's something strange or seemingly trivial that brings me joy? And I love gummy vitamins. It's like, I don't want to say it's a guilty pleasure because I guess vitamins are good for you. I mean, they have like sugar in them and stuff, but I mean, if they get me to take my vitamins, and like I'm somewhat of a gummy vitamin connoisseur these days. So yeah, it's funny, like left to my own devices, I definitely do stream of consciousness journaling. I don't know that I've ever like pontificated about about the joys of taking my gummy vitamins, but that's what sometimes these prompts can do. It can kind of break you out of your normal patterns of thinking and reflecting. So anyway, that's my share, but let me see what you all have to say. Kathy says, I had a crazy day today, and a neighbor let me know I was doing a great job raising my kids because they're so responsible adults that is family oriented. That's amazing. That's awesome. Well, it's cool when people see what you're doing. Like sometimes it's easy to like get caught up in the day to day and everything like that. And it's nice. It's nice when you get a little recognition. Not that we need to be like hunting for recognition and approval from others, but man, like a well-timed compliment is awesome in my book. So glad you had that experience. Deidre says, these were great, thought-provoking prompts. I'm grateful for my entire life and the things that I have experienced. Life is going to life, and I chose to receive it in a positive manner. Good. Yeah. Well, that's, I think at any given moment, we get to decide how we want to receive any of these things that show up in our experience. I mean, there's some things that are objectively difficult, like losing somebody or, like in experiencing grief, and that, like those are part of the human experience. But ultimately, I think we get to decide what they mean, what these things mean to us. And so, whether it's something like gummy vitamins or, another thing that I was reflecting about was like the loss of my father and the loss of, one of a pet of mine, a dog of mine, that ultimately led to, us just finding a new pet. Not to say that it was replaced, right? But like it led to that. And so, I could get stuck and oh, I'll never get a dog again, or whatever it is. Like you could go down that rabbit hole of attributing some sort of negative meaning to the experience, because some of it can be pretty traumatic. But when you zoom out, I think that as the observer, you get to choose the meaning, and that's a pretty powerful place to be coming from. So, cool share, Deidre. Darlene's place. One thing I am glad is gone is work. My time is mine. It's been 4 years, and I'm still happy and content. That's awesome. Well, I'm happy for you. I, well, I guess I'm not retired. I wouldn't call myself retired, but I've got I've left like my W-2 roles, and that's enabled me to do journal party in a much bigger way. And so I'm grateful for that myself. But yeah, I do. One day I will maybe put down. Working so hard. The grind is still there, and I like it there now. But yeah, it'll be an interesting change of season when I can say the same. But thanks for sharing, Darlene. It's a party, says Dietrich. Jen Thompson, coffee. Once you fall for it, you have to go through withdraw to kick it. Oh man, if you were to go through the Journal Party live archives, you'll see me bragging about kicking coffee. And I'm totally drinking coffee again. So, I feel that one. And it's useful for me, but I've got to find ways to be healthier with my coffee habit for sure. I just love to consume things. I mean, I think I'm that way with food and beverages or whatever. Like if it's in front of me, I just like having a bit of business, and like, especially as I'm working and jamming out here, that extra pep in my step is useful. But there are definitely times where look, there's a reason I tried to kick it in the first place, but yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure I want to kick it out of my life again just yet, but props if you're able to, because caffeine I think it's addicting. It's a drug, and yeah, those withdrawals are pretty nuts. So if you're trying to kick it, good luck on that. Deidre says, Darlene, when I get to that point, congrats to you, not missing work. It's still overrated at times. Kathy says, my odd little joy is buying multiple matching bins in different sizes for different rooms in my apartment. I feel accomplished and fancy, even though I never have people over. That's cute and hilarious. That's awesome. We have a similar thing in our house because clutter piles up, and I mentally just like can't operate well with clutter around the house. So we have started doing this thing called drop zones, and so we actually have these little bins where we can instead of letting everything kind of hang out, we can throw things in them and then eventually deal with the clutter and the mess. It's less cluttered as we wait to deal with it, but that's an interesting way to look at it, right? Like as a decor and fancy. I like it. Melissa, Geeky Witch. My dad came up in a lot of these prompts tonight, both positive and negative memories with him before losing him. All learning experiences, and it's made me who I am. Yeah, great perspective. And yeah, totally. My dad was coming up in a lot of these as well. And he came up in the tough love one, and I wouldn't say it was like his most enlightened moment, or maybe not the healthiest exchange between us, but nonetheless, I was grateful for it. And gotta find ways to integrate all this stuff. And like I said, we get to attribute the meaning. So yeah, I feel you there. Mary says, I fear the unknown, so finding gratitude in that was hard. However, I can be grateful God does not have unknowns. Oh, that's an interesting perspective. Yeah, yeah. That's whether or not you've found faith. I know that those who have, find that very helpful. I personally do as well. Sometimes it's nice to let go of needing to know everything. which is hard for me. I like having control, and to kind of let go of that is actually, really, really quite liberating. And to have faith and to have trust in whether you're calling it God or universe. Want to respect everyone's where everyone's coming from here, but it's it's useful to let that go and allow these things to be okay for you, whatever that means. Thanks for the share, Mary. Teresa Jones, it's like a warm hug. Love it. Darlene says, I am rarely surprised, but when two of my poems were published in a real book with an ISBN, I thought it would be a homemade type of book. That's awesome. Congrats. Props to you. Where's my sound effects? Oh man, gotta give you the journal party round of applause. Hold on. There we go. Yay. Everyone applaud Darlene. Awesome. And now I lost my place. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Kathy said, my mom's birthday is literally next week, and she passed away 34 years ago. I learned that I was capable of being independent and self-sufficient. As an only child, I always thought the opposite because my family always coddled me. Yeah, that's that I had a very similar reflection. In that gap, like it's like after the shock of the loss, and even just sitting there in that grief, it's like, well, what do you do, like can I do this? Like that's, obviously everyone's experience is different, but I felt like I had to suddenly fill a gap with the loss of my father. And so yeah, losing a parent is tough, um, whether intentional or not. They teach us things and they do things for us, and when they're not there, it's like, what do you do? I had to grow up pretty fast, it felt like, because gosh, it's been like 10 years now, but I felt pretty young to lose a parent at that time. And while look, I wish I didn't. Like, I wish she was still here. But yeah, it's we have to face the truth of what is. And not to say that we don't grieve and mourn and do all those things, feel our feelings, right? But ultimately, we can only show up as ourselves. And I think it sounds like you found a way to do that for yourself, and so that's great. Darlene says, I am rarely oh wait, we already got this one. Okay. Jen, yeah, I love how the lost prompts have helped me cope and move in a direction with this heaviness in my heart. It's hard watching them both die before your very eyes. Yeah, gosh, and I'm sorry for that. Life is heavy, right? Like whether it's personal and like you're there, like witnessing, someone who you love deeply, their last breath. I've had that experience. Another thing that I wrote about tonight that was super heavy, I mentioned the loss of a pet. It's like my best buddy dying in my arms. Super heavy. Sorry to bring it down, but it's once all that passes, and you got to allow the moment to be there for what it is, right? Honor every moment as it shows up for you, and be present in it if you can. But that doesn't mean that we have to remain in that space. And again, like once some time passes and the moment allows for it, we can then show up with that presence and then attribute that meaning that can actually serve us. And I think that's what why journaling is so great. I think it really cultivates this self-awareness so that you can recognize when a moment is happening and be there for it. And once it allows for it, then you can consciously choose the life that you want for yourself. And that doesn't mean we pretend like it's something different. I think I kind of got caught in that trap of like some of like the law of attraction stuff, like trying to affirm just things that weren't true, and they don't feel true, so they don't happen. Like they don't show up in your life the way you want them to. And I don't think that's what life is about. I think it's much more about allowing it to be as beautiful as it is, right? With loss, Like I think about that sometimes, like whether it's, the loss of a relationship, or whether it's the loss of, like a pet or a person, right? Where there's love there and you lose that. But like what a gift to have loved in the first place. And I think that's taught me. So just my share there. But thanks for yours, Jen. Appreciate it. Teresa said, I had a boss who told me, sorry, I lost the chat here. I had a boss who told me, you want me to thank you for doing your job. I was upset since I felt the others in my spot wouldn't have figured it out. Although I was upset, I used that line on others now. Ooh. You should do what you're supposed to because you're supposed to, not for recognition. So kind of grateful for that. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this earlier. It's nice to get praise. It's nice to get recognition. Sometimes like the agreement's already been made, right? I've had clients tell me that before. Like where, maybe I've wanted a little bit more out of it, and they're like, "We paid you," and I've also felt that way with people that I've paid, and so, it's gosh, like we could do a whole guided journaling session on just the agreements that we've made with people. You ever read Four Agreements? That's, I mean, a little adjacent to what we're talking about here, but yeah, these sort of like social contracts that we have with people, as they brush up against like our stuff and what we want for ourselves and the things that we hope and wish for, again, versus the reality of what is. And ultimately we're all just trying to be okay with our lot in lives, and hopefully we can transcend that and be more than okay. Kathy said, I was 16 when my mom passed and 18 when my dad passed. That's sorry. I grew up real fast. Yeah, it kind of forces you to, maybe on, a soulful level, even, gosh, has anybody ever read Many Lives, Many Masters? I just gave that another read, actually a listen. I listened to the book for the second time around during a long car ride. Whether you believe what the contents are, there's an interesting hypothesis there that your soul, kind of picks this adventure for you. And so, maybe there's some greater wisdom there. And, it's a helpful thought, especially when things are difficult. It's like, well, maybe this is supposed to happen so that I can learn something. And I know that's a tough thing to hear, like especially when people are coming up against like trauma and things they definitely didn't ask for, really hard experiences. So I don't mean to cheapen anyone's experience or yeah, I don't know what the right verb there is, but adverb. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Again, I don't mean to dilute anyone's like life experience, especially when it's difficult or hard. But yeah. Maybe it's possible on some level that your soul in greater wisdom chose some of these things for you. Darlene's Place. I lost my mom when I was 12. Wow. Sorry about that. But after she died, my life changed for the better. I felt guilty, but I am who I am because of it. So, yeah, well, and I think the other thing too, we don't have to judge everything. Like, I think it's more, like allowing it to be like, you don't have to feel guilty for how you feel. It's a feeling. You can't control that necessarily. I mean, you can reach for better feelings, but it's our thoughts, they pop up. Like, I don't know. I don't really know how that works, but I think. Well, I'm glad you you are feeling better for it, and it's life, ups and downs, wheel of fortune, right? Sometimes the wheel parks itself in the mud. Sometimes you hang out there. Sometimes you're riding high, and you're on the top spoke. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the end, it all makes sense. Teresa said, I went a silly way with my loss. As a kid, I lost my charm bracelet when cleaning the toilet. To this day, jewelry and charms are still part of who I am, and it makes me happy. That's cute. Um, Silly thing that happened. My wife and I were on jet skis at on our honeymoon. riding around Bora Bora. Super awesome, by the way. But she was not about it at first and wasn't having such a good time. But then as we drove around the Hilton Conrad resort, or jet skied around it, our guide informed us that this was where Kim Kardashian lost her diamond earrings, and suddenly my wife was having the best time. So, similar silly loss, but yeah. Darlene says she was a good mom, but could not provide for us like my aunt could. Yeah, I mean, well, I think I need. You know what? I need to work on being okay with not having an answer for some of these things. Like I didn't. You know, I'm. I'm glad you're finding meaning in your experience there. But yeah, that's a tough one, and I know there's a lot more to that. So I don't want to speak out of turn, but I appreciate you sharing. Mary says, in the little things I wrote about my little girl finally slept through the night last night. Congrats. First time I've slept through the night since July 3rd, 2023. Oh my God. Sleep is good. Agreed. Agreed. I could use some. We had a red eye back last night, and man, those long flight, not as comfortable as I would have liked, but we'll catch up on that. Jen's got to go. Good to see you, Jen. Glad you're here. Go mom. Go be a mom. This teenager is all about the drama today. Well, help them. You're wise mother. Darlene says, small things. I am grateful for the extras I can get now that I'm retired. Great pension, good social security. Awesome. Yeah. Well, you paid into it, so get out of it, or not get out of it. Get what you got. Get what you paid back. I guess. I don't know. I never fully understood how all that worked. All right. Got a little bit of sharing the love, but yeah, it's we're coming up on there it is. 7 o'clock my time, 10 o'clock for some of you, maybe later if you're in Europe or something. But anyway, folks, it's been awesome reconnecting with you all. I'm so glad to be back. We've got a lot of really exciting things planned. My wife is so pumped to join the party a little bit more. She's got some really great ideas, so we've got a lot of content that we've got planned, and a lot of really fun and exciting things for the Journal Party community. So stay tuned. We'll probably boot up the podcast again next week, so if you're a fan of that, check it out. If you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. Also want to announce that we've recently launched an affiliate program. So you guys have probably seen ads of me selling I say I give them away for free because it costs us, I do charge for the shipping because that's what it costs us, unfortunately. But anyway, we have an affiliate program now. So if any of you are coaches or just want to get other people into journaling, you can sign up for that. And if you give them the link and they buy anything from us, we kick it back. So anyway, check that out if you're interested. If you need more information, you can always email me at alex@journalparty.com. And I think that's all I got. That's all the housekeeping. Again, glad to be back. Glad to see you all here. Missed you guys. Love y'all. And you know what? I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, rest of your week. And as always,